Okay, well, first of all, Happy New Year to everybody. I appreciate you being here or being on the teleconference call. I want to congratulate all of the teams in the Pac-12 and how well they've done preseason. To have 4 teams ranked after the tough preseason a lot of us have played, that's really exciting. It obviously speaks well to how good this conference battle is going to be this year, so we're looking forward to it. We obviously have had a great experience in our preseason of growing up and having success against some nationally ranked teams. We've been inconsistent, no doubt about it, but when you have 6 freshmen and 3 sophomores, that's 2/3 of your team. There's a little bit of room for some growing pains, I guess, but really excited and proud of our team and the challenge that they've taken on this year in the tough preseason, especially the road trips to Louisville, Minnesota, South Dakota State, etc., and excited about jumping in against the Arizonas.
Questions in the room?
Yeah, have you set a specific goal yet of where in the conference you guys want to be? Top 5 or number 1, or what are your goals going into conference?
Right. Well, going into Pac-12, I think one is that we have tried to prepare this team as best possible, knowing that it was going to be this good. Like I said, 4 teams nationally ranked right now, and I think a 5th team could get in pretty easily as well. But so where do we want to be? Of course, we want to win it. I think a realistic goal for us is to be in the top 5. If we can continue to improve and continue to use our experiences from the preseason, and obviously the key for every coach is to keep people healthy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How big was that Gonzaga when kind of ending the losing streak and getting some positive momentum heading into conference?
Well, it was our first road win, and we've been in some tough environments. I mean, Louisville was a great experience for our team. I mean, it was unusual for them to play in front of 10,000, fans, and Louisville obviously is a very, very good team. I mean, do not be surprised if you do not see them in the Final Four if they stay healthy. But, the test was, hey, can we learn our lessons from the preseason, win or lose, and can we get better quickly, and can we fight, no matter where we play. And we started out down 14 early, and the Cougs answered the bell. I mean, they came back fighting hard. There was no lack of poise at all. In fact, it was more like, hey, let's bear down, let's get this done. And right before the half, we had a great momentum shift. I think we got it down to 6 in the locker room. The kids were fired up. They were very comfortable. And we came out the second half and we were able to hold them to 19 in their house. So that's a pretty good deal.
And I know that Tia, I believe, is from the Spokane area, so what were the fans kind of getting on her a little bit?
Well, first of all, Tia Presley, she played at Gonzaga Prep 2 years ago. She's a sophomore in our program. She has started both years, but remember, she only played about a half a year last year because of the foot injury. So how exciting is it to see a player like Tia Presley, only with a little over a year under her belt in the Pac-12, play the way she's playing on the national stage. She's been our most consistent player, no doubt about it. At Gonzaga Prep, she ended up being the all-time leading scorer for high school for the GSL. And that's an amazing accomplishment for a kid that only went to state 1 year. She beat Angie Bjorklund's record, who was obviously a tremendous player at Tennessee. But Tia is a very competitive individual, and she's also she's not gonna back down from anybody anytime. She's feisty, and we love both those qualities about her. But for her, it was fun to come home, so to speak, up in Spokane and to play as well as she did.
And speaking of coming home, how excited are you to be, back here playing a home game after all these road games?
You're exactly right. It's home sweet home in Beasley. We practiced over there yesterday. Everybody just took a deep breath and said, yeah, it's great to be back at our home digs. And, the big part now is not to get too comfortable, but to protect home court. And we talked about that yesterday, addressed it as a team, and that's going to be very, very important with our first 2 games against the Arizona schools.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
You talked about Tia, and you also mentioned that your freshmen have played a huge role. Mariah Cooks, League Aldera, both had big games as well.
Yeah.
I mean, not Leah's biggest game, but she still had some huge shots on Saturday.
Yeah.
Just talk about how much the freshmen, and is this where you expected them to be at this point in the season?
In our preseason, we had the chance to go down to the Pac-12 Media Day, and I told the national media that our freshman class was as good as any freshman class in the country, and I think now people are starting to maybe believe it a little bit. But Leah Galdera is a special talent. I mean, she opened her career at Minnesota with 33 points. And she had the winning shot against South Dakota State. Unfortunately, we went overtime with the officials' call or lack of call and ended up losing that game. But there's a reason why she was named 3-time Hawaii Player of the Year and 3-time state champion. I mean, this kid is enormously talented, very athletic, and the biggest thing for Leah is that she's still learning the system, so she has to think a lot out there. But as she's getting more and more comfortable, and when she's not thinking and she's just playing basketball, she's pretty phenomenal.
And then Mariah as well. I mean,
Yeah.
she stepped up in a big way in
Yeah.
that game for you on
Yeah,
Saturday.
and, Mariah is kind of, we call her our 7-and-7 kid, and the reason we call that is every time we've been able to get her on the floor, she's been playing about 7 minutes in the preseason, and she comes away with 7 points and usually 3 or 4 rebounds. And so she's a kid that has definitely been producing in short spurts. We wanted to give her the opportunity to play a little bit longer. She was the first sub off the bench in the Gonzaga game, and she really took advantage of it. But she's tough, she's a very strong individual, and she's fearless. She had that big spin move against Ohio State that kind of locked the game up, if you will. It was a 3-point play with the foul at the end and the free throw. But she's somebody that has continued to develop and grow, and I don't see her backing down from any type of challenge anytime soon.
With the Arizona schools, Arizona State's been a traditional power in this conference for a while.
Yeah.
Arizona rebuilding program. Talk about the challenges that each one of them are going to bring to you.
Well, first of all, we know both teams are going to play excellent defense. Both coaching staffs are all about the defensive end of the floor, and they're going to create a lot of offense off of that. Naya's done a tremendous job at Arizona. I think, they've had a very good preseason. We've played some common opponents with BYU and such, and I think they played a better schedule preseason than what they played last year. So they're pressing you for 40 minutes. They're going to mix it up. We've got to really have great ball security and be able to score, with all the pressure that's going on, and not get into a situation where the shot clock's going down. We just have to take any random shot. So looking forward to that. With Arizona State, Charlie Turner-Thorne is back. She took a year off from coaching, and actually 6 months off, and she's back, and she's got them playing Charlie defense, and they're going to be in your face. They're going to challenge us every possession, and they're going to try to get us back on our heels and not allow us to be comfortable in our house. So two great challenges right off the bat, and it's going to be great to see Charlie back coaching, and Naya as well.
You and Charlie go back a long way.
Yeah, I actually coached Charlie when I was assistant at Stanford, so that just makes me older and older. But I'm really proud of Charlie and everything she does. She's our WBCA president right now, and she's a great ambassador for women's basketball, whether it's Arizona State or nationally. Mm-hmm.
Coach, we've talked about the sophomores and the freshmen and that type of stuff. As far as you're obviously a big proponent of having a really grueling preseason schedule.
Yep.
How does that sort of prepare them for sort of the gauntlet that you're going to have to run a conference play?
Yeah, I guess I've always had that philosophy everywhere I've been, whether it's Boise State, Washington State, is play the best to be the best. And it was important for us to be able to take the upperclassmen, our leaders in the program. They've been there, they've been on the road, they've played these type of teams like Ohio State, and we lost a close one here with Gonzaga, we lost a close one here with Louisville last year. But to have that kind of senior leadership was important, to have them out front telling these kids what to expect, how to prepare, and how to get better. And then, I think one of the beauties of 6 freshmen is they don't know any different. You know what I mean? They don't know any different, so they just go into each game excited and happy. I mean, smiles on their faces. There's no reason for them to feel intimidated because they don't know any different. And that's kind of a neat thing. So we have that upperclassmen leadership, and then these young kids, being as talented as they are, just kind of following along and kind of, I don't know, sometimes they're too loosey-goosey, but they're getting it done. So it's a good thing. But real important for us is to understand, to play at the very top level. When you knock off a ranked team like BYU, a ranked team like Ohio State, number 18 in the country, and stuff, that's where we want this program to be one day. So you have to experience it, and you have to have success against it, and we're starting to do that.
And do you think that maybe, I'm not saying teams maybe looked past Washington State last year, but do you think that run in the conference tournament certainly has caught some people, and maybe some people remember that looking this year?
Well, I know, all I know is for us, it served as a great motivator. We had our best spring of conditioning and basketball, and our best summer. And I felt like our upperclassmen in particular came back way more skilled and way better shape, and way more tougher about everything that they were doing in the gym from that run. So for us personally, for Washington State, I know it was a great thing for us. I don't know what other people think, other coaches, I can't say what they think and all, but I know that we felt, we enjoyed being on that national stage, and we enjoyed being one game away from the finals in the Pac-12 at the Staples Center. And it certainly has bode well in a motivational level and obviously in recruiting.